What's up, everybody? It's Joe Ravita from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are one of Taylor's very few online preferred dealers. We bring you the best stuff in Taylor guitars. Check out empiremusic.com, an enormous selection of Taylor guitars, a beautifully curated inventory, and we get to bring you the most amazing stuff that is unique to us. Most importantly, when you buy a guitar from us, we will do a full pro setup to factory spec, dialing it all the way to the low end of the specs. So when you buy an amazing Taylor guitar from us, we make sure it's the best playing version on earth. So you love Taylor guitars, we love Taylor guitars. There are some sonic experiences in Taylor that just don't exist. And we have a line called Empire Select that is a bunch of tonewood combinations that I really wanted to do with Taylor, and we pulled it off. And we have this amazing 414ce Empire Select here, maple back and sides with a cedar top. Now, I have a deep affinity for maple Taylor guitars because I think it's, if you've watched any of the videos I ever do about maple, I always say it's misunderstood. But this Empire Select guitar is our best-selling model, and it's also probably the most outside of the lines. You know, like, we're definitely coloring outside the lines on this one. This is the most unexpected, I think, for people's ears when they come in and play guitars or talk to us about guitars. So this is the Grand Auditorium body shape, Taylor's bread and butter. It's what made it famous. What's great about the Grand Auditorium body shape is it does it all. If you want to play fingerstyle, great. If you want to pick, awesome. You want to strum and fill up a room, phenomenal. Comfortable to hold, tons of tone, plenty of output. It's, you know, chef's kiss on the design, of course. Cutaway access. V-class bracing, of course, expression system too, so we can plug in, sound great. V-class bracing is throughout the entire Taylor line. But the real crux of what we're doing here is wood sourcing. We are trying to put together woods that you don't either know about or you haven't heard together. And I've done custom shop Taylor guitar builds since probably like 95, 96 when I worked at my parents' business, and we always did kind of cool and unique stuff, not to the level that we do here at Empire, but I've always loved doing this because there's a lot of times someone comes in and says, man, I really like this. I wish it was just a little more blank. And after I hear that time and time again, we start to notice, like, hey, listen, there's something that people are asking for here. Can we put it together? So, beautiful big leaf maple back and sides. Now, go ahead. I'm gonna pause for a second here. I'm gonna say the first thing that comes to your mind when you say maple guitars and Taylor. Write it down. Close my eyes. Okay, you wrote down bright. You think it's bright, which is fine. You know, it's just like, it's a subjective term there. Maple is the most defined, clearest sonic experience you can get in Taylor guitars. It's a wood that sounds dead even top to bottom. Really great response, I think. Great for being heard in a mix. I know a lot of people who play live buy maple guitars from us because they want to be heard. So if you're playing and you're playing with 2 or 3 other pieces, if you're in a worship situation, and some of the worship players that we interact with are on stage with 10 other musicians, I mean, massive bands, and you want to be heard in that mix, maple will do it. Maple will always be heard in a bunch of instruments. So you have the ability to play and get your music out and be heard in that mix. That's important. Now, for those of us that are playing at home, oh, it's not bassy enough. Okay, I can deal with that. If you like a bassier guitar, there's other choices. But if you want something super clean, maple's where it's at. But what I wanted to do with the cedar top is give people a fatter maple. We round off the top ends with cedar, we fatten up that bottom end, and now I think it's one of my favorite sounding guitars in the room. I mean, it's just one of those really amazing instruments because you get cedar's warmth, you get the fullness, you kind of get that percussiveness from it, which I love, and then it gets cleaned up by the maple if you want to look at it that way. Or you take the maple, which is very definitive, very clean, and if you think it's a little too punchy for you, a little too bright for you, now you get this really warm blanket put over top of it, and it rounds it all out so those top ends aren't as bright. The bottom end isn't as narrow, it's a little bit wider, so it kind of fattens it up there. And in the store, when people play these, it always catches people off guard because they can't really place what they're hearing, because there really isn't another guitar like it. I always feel like in certain brands, like if you like a Koa Taylor, there's not a ton of other choices. You buy a Koa Taylor because all Koa guitars sound like all Koa guitars. There's not a lot of compliments or things to compare equally. Well, this is one of those unicorns. If this is one you like, you're done. Your shopping experience is over. We give it to you. So now, if you watch any of the videos that I do, typically, I do dynamic range and I do the mids of the guitar. I'm going to do those, of course, show you the instrument. I think you'll find that Cedar is very powerful, but it gives you, Cedar, if you think about it, fingerstyle players love it. Classical, a lot of classical guitars. Why? Because when you're playing it lightly, it's got a lot of body to it. So as we play it lightly, listen for that, kind of character. The mids of Taylor guitars are always awesome. So even though I go through the experiment, you'll hear that. But then I just want to play the guitar a little bit for you too, so you can kind of hear it up and down the neck, because it is such a beautiful sounding instrument, and I think you'll be surprised that it's good at almost everything. So let's go ahead and do those, and we'll check back here in a second. All right, so dynamic range, it opens up beautifully, it plays big, sounds amazing quietly. I think it has a lot of character, but really can be a robust sound. And through the mids, super sweet. You can hear the note separation that the maple gives you with the roundness of the Cedar in both examples, both in a dynamic range and through the mids of the guitar. Now, like I said, I just want to kind of play the guitar a little bit for you so you can hear this guitar, because it's Cedar and maple. There's not a ton of steel strings out there. Not that no one's ever done it before. I haven't invented a sound, but it's like, I'm sure it's existed somewhere. But in the major brands, you don't see this combination. So let's check out the guitar, and I'll give you kind of just like a little playthrough and see what you think of it overall. Sounds really beautiful and powerful up and down entire guitar. Maple, you can really feel the response as you play it against your body. Just a phenomenal instrument. If you love beautiful Taylor guitars with cool combinations of wood, selections that we've picked, go to empiremusic.com, check out the Empire Select line, and you'll see a bunch of options in the 400 and 700 series with beautiful wood combinations that we hand selected the wood, put together those combinations to give you a really unique sonic experience. No, we do full factory setup, dial everything into the low end of the spec for that full pro setup before we ship it out to you, give you the best playing Taylor guitars on earth. We have financing, we take trades, we do it all at Empire. Check out empiremusic.com, chat with us through the site, and give us a follow if you dig our content. Thanks for watching.